You were born amidst the Dalish elves, noble wanderers who refused to join the society of humans that subjugated their homeland so long ago. The Dalish travel the land in tightly knit clans, struggling to maintain their half-forgotten lore in a human world that fears and despises them. You spend your time hunting with your clanmate Tamlin in the forests, and as is sometimes the case, your quarry is not always the local wildlife.
It's a Dalish!
And you three are somewhere you shouldn't be.
Let us pass, Elf. You have no right to stop us.
No? We will see about that, won't we? You're just in time. I found these humans lurking in the bushes. Bandits, no doubt.
We aren't bandits, I swear. Please don't hurt us.
You Shemlin are pathetic. It's hard to believe you ever drove us from our homeland.
We've never done nothing to you, Dalish. We didn't even know this forest was yours.
This forest isn't ours, fool. You've stumbled too close to our camp. You Shems are like vermin. We can't trust you not to make mischief. What do you say, Lethalon? What should we do with him? Does it matter? Hunting or banditry, we'll need to move camp if we let them live.
Look, we didn't come here to be trouble. We just found a cave.
Yes, a cave. With ruins like I've never seen. We thought there might be,
Treasure? So you're more akin to thieves than actual bandits.
But I have proof. Here, we found this just inside the entrance.
This stone has carvings. Is this Elvish? Written Elvish?
There's more in the ruins. We didn't get very far in, though. There was a demon. It was huge with black eyes. Thank the Maker we were able to outrun it.
A demon. Where is this cave?
Just off the west, I think. There's a cave in the rock face and a huge hole just inside.
Well, do you trust them? Shall we let them go? Run along then, Shems. And don't come back until we Dalish have moved on.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, shall we see if there's any truth to this story? These carvings make me curious. Skittish Shems say it's a demon and you believe them. They probably woke up a bear. Let's see if these ruins actually exist. Then we'll worry about what to do.
Let's get started. Let's get started.
This must be the cave. I don't recall seeing this before, do you? Always the careful one. Fine, but I'm not running back until I know there's something worth making a fuss over. Come on, let's at least see what's there. How dangerous could it be? Looks like the Shem was telling the truth. But these ruins look more human than elven.
Trap! This should be easy enough. Trap! On it. Right. Let's get started. Trap. On it.
I can't believe this. You recognize this statue, don't you? Back when our people lived in Arlathan, statues like these honored the creators. When the Shems enslaved us, much of that lore was lost. This looks like human architecture, with the statue of our people. Can these ruins date back to the time of Arlathan? We must have lived in other places, too. Even if elves didn't live here, its architects knew of our gods.
Here we go!
Those walking
This should be easy
corpses? This place is haunted.
enough. This should be easy enough.
the creators! What was that thing? It's beautiful, isn't it? I wonder what the writing says. Maybe, but she's not here to help us. Odd that it isn't broken like everything else. Especially with that bear lumbering around in here. I wonder what this writing is for. Maybe this isn't... Hey, did you see that? I think something moved inside the mirror. Hold on, I just want to know what it is. Don't you see it? There it is again. Can you feel that? I think it knows we're here. I just need to take a closer look. It's showing me places. I can see some kind of city. Underground. And there's a great blackness. It saw me. Help! I can't look away!
Can you hear me? I am very sorry.
You're awake. You've the god's own luck, Lethaline. You're back at camp. Everyone is worried sick about you. How do you feel? Hashem brought you back 2 days ago. You don't remember him? He was a Grey Warden and appeared out of nowhere with you slung over his shoulder. You were delirious with fever. He said that he found you outside a cave in the forest, unconscious and alone. He left you here and ran off again. The Keeper's been using the old magic to heal you. So he claimed. I just wish he'd told us where that cave was. Most of the hunters are looking for it right now. But the Keeper wanted to talk to you as soon as you awoke. Stay here. I'll get her.
I see you are awake, Dalish. It is fortunate Duncan found you when he did. I know not what dark power held you, but it nearly bled the life from you. It was difficult even for my magic to keep you alive. I know only that the Grey Warden found you in front of a strange cave, sick and alone. Duncan thought there may have been darkspawn creatures inside the cave. Is that true? Walking corpses? Dark magic, but not darkspawn. I know not what the other creatures might have been. What else did you find? What is the last thing you remember? A mirror. And it caused all this? I have never heard of such a thing in all the lore we have collected. I was hoping for answers when you woke, but there are only more questions. And Tamlin remains missing. He is more important than any lore in these ruins. If he is as sick as you were, his condition is grave. Duncan returned to the cave to search for Darkspawn, but we cannot rely on him to look for Tamlin as well. We must go ourselves, and quickly. Do you feel well enough to show us the way, Dalish? Without you, we will not find it. I am relieved to hear it. I am ordering the clan to pack the camp so we can go north. Take Merrill with you to the cave. Find Tamlin if you can, but do it swiftly. If there is any truth to what Duncan said, then Darkspawn may show up in these parts soon. We must get away from that horde, but that is not our only concern. Did you encounter any other humans out in the forest? Although you hurt no one, These humans roused their nearby village against us. As everywhere, our people are not welcome here. We have stayed too long, and we must move on, quickly. I would be lying if I said I was not. But whatever knowledge lies in that cave is not worth our children. I send you back with hopes of finding Tamlin, and that is all. Merrill knows a degree of my magic. Tamlin's chances of surviving the journey back are greater with her help. I also wish for Merrill to see this cave and mirror. She has a sense for these things, and could shed light on the nature of this illness. You recovered, and Merrill will too. Still, be careful. Should you come upon this strange mirror again, do not touch it. Go quickly, for Tamlin's life hangs in the balance. Remember that Tamlin needs your help. They destroyed the last horde of Darkspawn to threaten the surface centuries ago. It doesn't mean they extinguished them all. Darkspawn are savage, uncultured creatures, more akin to locusts than men. They may have befouled the cave, but they did not build what is there. From the Warden's description, it may have been a temple devoted to an old god. Should we return, I may see it for myself. The old tomes say Darkspawn come in as many varieties as surface creatures. They also say that many Darkspawn are seen only during what the humans call a blight. Perhaps your bear monster was one of those. Darkspawn are filthy, diseased beasts that taint the very air around them. The Grey Warden seemed to think your illness came from this taint. Since you did not meet any Darkspawn, I don't see how that could be. No doubt he was mistaken. They are mostly boogeymen, used to frighten human children. In modern times, they are rarely seen on surface lands. But rumor holds that great numbers dwell in the ancient tunnels of the Draganlan, the dwarves. They obliterate all that is in their path. Like a plague of locusts, they spread disease and misery when they come to the surface. An event to be feared, without doubt. Then do not tarry. Find Tamlin quickly. When Tamlin's life is at stake? Very well. Not quite, Dalish. After they defeated the Darkspawn long ago, the Grey Warden's numbers diminished greatly over the centuries. It seems the humans have little use for them if Darkspawn aren't actively raising their lands. I suppose the thought of Darkspawn returning one day did not occur to them. The Grey Warden thinks so. A war may be in the offing. If so, we must get as far away from it as possible. He said he'd been looking for our clan and had a hint of our whereabouts. As I said, you were fortunate. It is possible he sought a volunteer to join their order. They are the best and most noble of all races, Dalish. Few can achieve their standards. Then do not tarry. Find Tamlin quickly.
Is the Keeper sending you back to that cave to look for Tamlin? I want to go with you. Keeper Marathari probably won't approve, but I can help find Tamlin. Tamlin's my friend too. I want to help find him. If Meryl can risk it, so can I. Good. I'll follow you, just to make sure Meryl doesn't go running to the Keeper when you tell her I'm coming.
Why would the Keeper call for a move so early? We were not expecting to leave for weeks. Are you going to help look for Tamlin?
How could Tamlin be lost?
Lost somewhere out there.
This area well.
I'm glad you recovered. Once we find Tamlin, we can concentrate on the journey northward.
Thank you for the bow, Master Island. It is light and sturdy, much better than the one I made last year.
You are more than welcome. My father made it and used it in battle against the Clane tribes.
I will carry it with honor.
One of my own crafting, perhaps? It may not have a history, but you'll provide one for it soon enough, yes? Of course. Take whatever you need. Ah, back again? We are all the same clan. His hand is as my hand. I have relinquished nothing. It was my father who first spoke of the Vir Tanadal, the three ways of the hunter. The first is the Vir Asan, the way of the arrow, to reach for our goal unrelenting. The second is the Vir Borasan, the way of the bow, to bend but not to break. The last is the Vir Adalen, the way of the wood. We are as ancient as the forests, each tree a part of the greater land. All Dalish are united in this. One day, we shall have a homeland again. Then I am proud to tell it. Our clan was one of the first to flee the Dales. When we came to Ferelden, the fiercest of the Shimlin were the barbarians known as the Clane. We didn't wait for them to attack us. Every Dalish clan in Ferelden united to bring the battle to them. In Ferelden, in Orlais, wherever there are lands the humans cannot hold, we bring our Aravels. You met some at the last gathering. The ensuing battle went well for us. That day we carved out our reputation of being the deadliest archers. Our arrows won us the right to wander these woods at will. It was this very bow that my father used that day.
Thank you for the tale, Master Island, and especially the bow. I will honor its history.
We are all the same clan. His hand is as my hand. I have relinquished nothing. It was my father who first spoke of the Vir Tanadal, the three ways of the hunter. The first is the Vir Asan, the way of the arrow, to reach for our goal unrelenting. The second is the Vir Borasan, the way of the bow, to bend but not to break. The last is the Vir Adalen, the way of the wood. We are as ancient as the forests, each tree a part of the greater land. All Dalish are united in this. One day, we shall have a homeland again. May the Creators guide your path.
Hello there. I don't think we've met.
Ah, it's good you're well. You weren't here when Paul arrived, were you?
I've heard of you. Everyone is talking about you and the other missing hunter. A Grey Warden brought you back here. That obvious, is it? I just found your camp a couple of days ago. A lucky thing. I heard rumors in a nearby human village that a Dalish camp was close, and I hope to find your hunters in the forest.
You were fortunate I didn't shoot you, Paul. I thought you were a Shem, and a bandit at that. You're not the first city elf to rejoin his people. I'm sure you'll find life among us more satisfying than with the Shems, if no less harsh.
In the alienage, we hear terrible stories about the Dalish. They aren't true, right? I'll do my best. I hope we find your missing friend very soon.
I'm training Paul. He'll have to learn how to handle that bow quickly.
It was good to meet you. Perhaps I'll get to hunt with you someday. You've never been to a city? Surely you've at least visited a town.
We occasionally trade with the Shemlin in small villages, but only a few in the clan can undertake that task.
I can't imagine never having seen a city. It's crowded, with buildings all squeezed together. There are people everywhere, and it always stinks. Andraste's mercy, no. No one is allowed to walk around with any weapon. Fighting just gets you arrested. And I've never had to leave the city before, much less learn how to hunt. I got into trouble for stealing. I'm not a thief. We just never really had a choice. Mother was a maid, and I was lucky if I could get work at the docks. You make a living however you can, right? When Mother died, I got drunk and was caught picking a guard's pocket. They were going to hang me, but I escaped and, well, here I am. I'll do my best to adjust and fit in. I never dreamed you'd be so welcoming. I thought at best you might hide me for a bit. I'm glad I was wrong. Well, back in the city we hear the same about you. Stories about Dalish bandits attacking people for no reason.
We would never resort to banditry.
I'm just saying that's what we hear. And it's elves who say these things too, not humans. Even if they did, I honestly don't think most of them would want to leave. Wandering and hunting doesn't sound like much of a life.
At least they would live as free men, and as equals.
Maybe. But to most elves I know, the only difference between them and humans is how much coin they have. Coin is the great equalizer, not living free. Of course. I hope to see you again.
Anithara, it's good to see you recovered. They fare well. The Keeper called for the clan to move on, and they will be ready to take us. One is heavy with calf, but it shouldn't be a problem. May I ask of Tamlin's fate? Some say the clan will leave before we find him. The Hala mourn our fallen. No sound is more heart-wrenching than their mourning cry. At least they won't be crying over you. They are quite fond of you. I admire them for their strength and pride. They are equals, not servants like the Shemlin horses. At any rate, I do not envy the Keeper's decision. I'll pray for Tamlin's safe return.
Let's get started.
By the creators, it is so good to see you whole and well. I was so worried. All that time you were ill, the Keeper didn't know if you were going to live or die. I've been outside the Keeper's tent the whole time. I have never been so relieved as when I heard you would pull through. What happened? Everyone says Tamlin may be dead. That's awful. He's been a good friend to you since you were fledglings. You must be more careful. Your mother and father, may they rest in peace, would be horrified to see you take such risks. What happened to them is a sad tale, and it's in the past. Reopening old wounds benefits no one. True. Perhaps you're old enough to hear this, though it hardly seems like the right time. Very well. If I do not tell you now, you'll only wonder. Your mother was a hunter, One of the finest. And your father was the keeper before Marathari. He was with us for a very long time. Your mother was from another clan, and her elders did not approve of the match. She and your father had to meet in secret. One day, bandits caught them alone in the forest. Your father was killed, but your mother escaped. Your mother held to life long enough to give birth to you. But grief racked her heart. One night, she simply walked into the moonlight and never returned. She just couldn't carry on without your father. The clan decided not to discuss this around you, lest it poison your heart with sadness. Our people have learned to live with much sorrow. It seemed only right that we not dwell on it. Your mother did leave you a gift. Something of your father's for you to have once you were older. Perhaps the time has come. Take this key. You'll see some chests behind the storage Aravel by the Halapen. One of them was your mother's. Its contents are yours if you wish.
So you have returned to us, Dalen. We are grateful you're whole and well.
So you should be. What were you two thinking, wandering into that cave without first coming to tell the Keeper? Tamlin's idea, huh? And you've no mind of your own.
I suppose your youth can be forgiven. Sadly, Tamlin pays the price.
Losing you would be a terrible crime, Dalen. You belong to more than just yourself, or do you not remember?
Would you even know the reason behind your efforts? I wonder. Let us tell these children of the fall of the Dales. You can honor me by sharing in the telling.
Come then. Help me as I go along. Children, hear of the fall of the Dales. Hear the tale of what makes you Dalish. Would you care to begin, Dalen? Yes, slaves to a terrible empire the humans built on the darkest magic. When it fell, we became free. We built a homeland in the Dales, worshipping the creators, and rebuilding the culture and history we lost in our long years of slavery. They were resentful, because we would not worship their gods, and because we put our people first. Over the years, their nations grew cold toward the Dales. In their eyes, we were blasphemers and cruel tyrants. And so the Dales fell. They took our lands and dispersed our people, forcing us to live in their cities and abandon our gods. But many of us refused to relinquish our ways. We instead chose to scatter to the winds, wandering the lands. To survive and preserve our culture, the clans stay apart until the day the Elvenan have a homeland once more. We are the Dalish, keepers of the lost lore, walkers of the lonely path.
Thank you for your forbearance, Dalen. You remember both the tale and the Oath of the Dales perfectly. I will let you get back to your tasks. I pray you find Tamlin quickly. Now that's something I rarely hear. Of course. Ah, yes. The Lost City. Before the Shemlen enslaved us, even before they came to this part of the world, our people lived in glorious Arlathan. Legends say that our ancestors were immortal, and we possessed magic the Shemlen could only dream of. Perhaps they have no choice. Dalish clans are scattered to the winds and rarely gather, which makes us difficult for any organized effort to destroy. And why bother? We have nothing they want. No land, no treasure, and we always move on, allowing no one to grow too angry with us. Some might see this as cowardly, but we are proud. We are the last, and we will survive. When the humans enslaved us, they took away our language, our history, and our immortality. We quickened to the pace of life, and retained nothing of ourselves. We were slaves for so long, that even when we became free, there was little for us to recover. If books still exist, I do not know of them. They remain in human cities, forgetting all they once had. We call them Flat Ears, but they differ little from their Shemlen masters. A few may return, but we must accept that they know nothing of the lore, or why we keep it. We can hope to find a new home one day, where the Dalish and the Flat Ears will build a land greater even than Arlathan. We shall teach the Flat Ears the lore they lost, and perhaps they will teach us to understand the Shemlen at last. That is the only way we shall truly live in peace. Then I'm sure you have much to do, unless you've other questions. I've never heard of such a thing. But in the days of ancient Arlathan, we lived free and spread far across the continent. We were as varied as the Shemlen, though fewer in number. Perhaps some of us lived in caves then, but all knowledge from that era is lost. The one who brought you back? Very little. He seemed decent enough as humans go. As for Grey Wardens, they're heroes without a doubt. Members of our own clan joined their ranks in ages past. Only that they eat living flesh and lurk in underground tunnels, once ruled by the Dergenlen, the dwarves. In the last blight long ago, the Grey Wardens all but wiped them out. Should they return, all races will shudder. Of course. May the gods guide your path, Dalen.
The Keeper told me I'm to accompany you back to those caves. As her apprentice, I may see something you missed. But our main objective is to find Tamlin, of course. We must make haste. He may not have much time. A little, but the Keeper cured you. How dangerous could it be? Even if I get sick, finding Tamlin or something valuable will be worth it. Enough to pique my interest, and my concern. You can explain the rest on the way. That depends on the Keeper. I thought we're supposed to go alone. You said the cave is a dangerous place. You want to risk Fenrirel getting hurt, or worse?
I should decide whether I'm willing to risk it or not.
Go tell the Keeper that, then.
I see you have not left with Merrill yet. Is there something you need? Fenarel? Are you certain? I'm already putting Merrill at risk. I don't want to lose you too.
I want to help, Keeper. If we can find Tamlin, it's worth the risk.
Very well, then. You have my permission. And thank you for asking for it.
You're back. Are you ready to go now? Less than I'd like to. I know some of our old magic, as the Keeper does, and I'll know about these relics if I see them. The Keeper isn't sending me to collect anything, however. We're worried about Tamlin. What about Fenarel? You didn't think I'd notice him?
We asked. The Keeper has given her leave.
And let us make haste while daylight lasts.
Cursed creatures. Let's get started. Fear is your weakness.
A battle!
Desperation is an ugly perfume.
What were those things? Were those Darkspawn? I've never seen anything like them. You can smell the evil on them. Where did they come from? Were they here before? What would Darkspawn have to do with our people? The stories say our Lathan fell long before the Darkspawn appeared. Well, we'll find out soon enough. Let's hope we don't find any more of these monsters. Before we go, are you all right? Were you hurt during the fight?
You do look quite pale, now that Meryl's mentioned it.
Well, I'll keep an eye on you. You've only just recovered from your illness. But let's not think of that now. We should move on.
Right.
I wonder whose camp this is. Do you remember it being here? You're probably right. Didn't he say he was headed back to the cave? If so, he's not here now. And we've seen no sign of Tamlin. Maybe we should... Wait. Do you hear that? Exactly. The forest is too... still. Something's in the air. Something unnatural. It seems whatever you woke up inside that cave has spread outside. The sooner we find this cave and Tamlin, the sooner we can leave. Take us there quickly.
Darkspawn. Destroy the fiends. Less fighting, more dying. Blast you. Is that all you've got? Is it just me, or do you actually think you have a chance?
So these are the ruins. Interesting. They're definitely of human origin, yet elven artifacts are scattered amongst them. Nothing explains the monsters, though. But we must find Tamlin, or what's left of him. I can't imagine he's still alive with those creatures about. You're right. We should explore farther before I go on about my fears. I'm sorry.
As you wish.
Defend yourself!
Get them all!
We must act!
Time for a little cleanup.
So you were the one fighting Darkspawn. I thought I heard combat. You're the elf I found wandering the forest, aren't you? I'm surprised you have recovered. I would have, had I not been battling them myself. Not all the kills here were yours, as you can see. My name is Duncan, and it's a pleasure to finally meet you. The last time we spoke, you were barely conscious.
Andaran Atishan, Duncan of the Grey Wardens. I am Meryl, the Keeper's apprentice.
And I am Fenarel. Did you come here alone, human? Battling all those creatures?
Yes, though I must admit you took a great deal of pressure off me. Your keeper did not send you after me, did she? I told her I would be in no danger. So, you and your friend Tamlin both entered this cave, and you saw this mirror. I see. That's unfortunate. The Grey Wardens have seen artifacts like this mirror before. It is Tevinter in origin, used for communication. Over time, some of them simply break. They become filled with the same taint as the Darkspawn. Tamlin's touch must have released it. It's what made you sick. And Tamlin too, I presume. Unfortunately, no. It will taint all those who come near it now.
I do not fear this sickness. The Keeper knows how to cure it.
She may have weakened it, but she cannot cure it. Your recovery is only temporary. I can sense the sickness in you, and it is spreading. Look inside yourself, and you will see. First, we deal with the mirror. It is a pestilence and a threat. It is done. Now let's leave this cursed place. I must speak with the Keeper immediately regarding your cure. There is nothing we can do. Let me be very clear. There is nothing you can do for him. He's been tainted for 3 days now, unaided. Through your Keeper's healing arts and your own willpower, you did not die, but Tamlin has no chance. Trust me when I say that he is gone. Now we should return. With the mirror destroyed, I doubt the Darkspawn will return.
Can we return later and search through the ruins? We could learn from many things here besides the mirror.
The cave is not safe. Everything here was exposed to the mirror's taint. If your people must come here, they should cleanse it with fire. It's not that simple. I would tell you more, but I must first speak with your Keeper. I sense no other Darkspawn nearby, so it's safe. Lead on.
I'm relieved you have returned. And I did not expect to see you again so soon, Duncan.
I was not expecting to return so soon either, Keeper.
Dare I ask of Tamlin? What did you find of him? I see. Meryl, what about the mirror? Did you bring anything back?
I can answer that, Keeper. I destroyed the mirror.
I intended to use it to find a cure for this mysterious illness. I trust you had good reasons for your actions.
There is much to discuss, Keeper. I have learned a great deal since I was last here.
Let us speak privately within my Aravel then, Duncan. Meryl, warn the hunters. If Darkspawn are about, I want the clan prepared.
Manuvinen, Keeper. Right away.
Dalen, allow me some time to speak with Duncan. Seek us out at my Aravel later, and we can discuss your cure.
Because I must talk to your Keeper first. It will not take long.
Tell Haren Pyvel what has occurred. He now has the sad task of preparing a service for the dead. Follow me, Duncan. I'm eager to hear what you have to say.
You bring sad news. The Hala can sense it. They are restless and hard to danger.
I wish we'd had more time to examine those artifacts. Perhaps another time, if the Keeper thinks it's wise.
I see you have not returned with young Tamlin. Are we to assume the worst? A sad day for our clan. I know you and Tamlin were friends. My condolences on your loss. May the Creators guide your path.
I'm training Paul. They'll have to learn.
It was good to meet you. Perhaps I'll get to hunt with you someday. Of course. I hope to see you again.
This should be easy enough.
Oh, thank the Creators you're safe. I questioned the Keeper's wisdom at sending you off while you're still sick, but my doubts were misplaced. Tamlin isn't with you. Is it as everyone fears? Oh dear. This is horrible news. Please take care of yourself and get better. We can't bear to lose anyone else. That's good. I thought the shaman's arrival was a bad omen, but perhaps I was wrong. I will see you soon, my dear. You make me very proud.
I wish we could have found Tamlin. If those creatures... Oh, I can't bear to think about that. Why do you think the Grey Warden won't tell you about this cure? It seems rather cruel to withhold it. Keeper Marathari won't let him withhold it. I say we get your cure, move the clan north, and put this all behind us.
So you return with the Grey Warden, but without Tamlin. What happened, Dalen? Is he truly lost to us? So, another of our children has perished. To think I'd live to see this. It seems the will of the creators that I sing the dirge for those I held in my arms as babes. I think I know why our immortal ancestors would sleep. Swiftly do stars burn a path across the sky, hastening to place one last kiss upon your eye. Tenderly land enfolds you in slumber, softening the rolling thunder. Dagger now sheathed, bow no longer tense. During this, your last hour, only silence. Our ancestors did not age as we do. The Shemlen brought a quickening to our blood that changed us forever. Instead of death, those weary of life would pass into Uthanera, the waking slumber. In doing this, they made way for the young. It was supposed to be a beautiful time, a celebration of the Elder's long life and contribution to his people. Alas, we have no such ceremonies these days. Of course. We've no body to return to the soil, but we shall still sing for Tamlin. The creators must come to guide him to the beyond. Tell the Keeper, it shall be done before the clan is ready to move on. Yes, the Darkspawn are too dangerous to risk staying here. I ask only one thing, if I may. This Grey Warden. You have met him now, yes? Is he a good man? Interesting. What is it he talks to the Keeper about, I wonder? Perhaps you should go and ask. Only that they eat living flesh and lurk in underground tunnels, once ruled by the Dergenlen, the dwarves. In the last blight long ago, the Grey Wardens all but wiped them out. Should they return, all races will shudder. Of course. May the gods guide your path, Dalen.
Your Keeper and I have spoken, and we've come to an arrangement that concerns you. My order is in need of help. You are in need of a cure. When I leave, I hope you will join me. You would make an excellent Grey Warden. Everything, I'm afraid. The Darkspawn taint courses through your veins. That you recovered at all is remarkable. But eventually the taint will sicken and kill you, or worse. The Grey Wardens can prevent that, but it means joining us. This is not simply charity on my part. I would not offer this if I did not think you had the makings of a Grey Warden. Let me be clear. You will likely never return here. We go to fight the Darkspawn, a battle that will take us far from your clan. But we need you, and others like you.
A great army of Darkspawn gathers in the south. A new blight threatens the land. We cannot outrun this storm. Long ago, the Dalish agreed to aid the Grey Wardens against a blight should that day arrive. We must honor that agreement. It breaks my heart to send you away, as it would to watch you die slowly from this sickness. This is your duty, and your salvation. Who knows what the future holds? Here, our paths diverge. You may never find us again. I cannot express my sadness at sending one of our sons off into such danger, away from the clan that loves him. But if this is what the Creators intend for you, Dalish, meet your destiny with your head held high. No matter where you go, you are Dalish. Never forget that.
I welcome you to the Order. It is rare to have a Dalish amongst us, but they have always served with distinction.
I know you'll do your clan proud, Dalish. Take this ring. It is your heritage, and will protect you against the darkness to come.
A valuable gift. So, are you ready to go? We have much ground to cover, but I cannot deny you that. Say your farewells. Then we must be off.
Come then, Dalish. Before the Creators guide you from us, let your clan embrace you one last time.